ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, yet we've explored less than 5% of it. That means most of what lives beneath the surface is still completely unknown. But sometimes, something rises. Massive shapes, unexplained sounds, creatures that don't look like anything we know, and the people who saw them never forgot what they witnessed. Tonight, we uncover the most terrifying ocean mysteries ever recorded. In 1862, ships crossing the open ocean began reporting something impossible. The sea would suddenly rise, and moments later, massive tsunamis would strike nearby coasts. There was no earthquake, no storm, just destruction. But sailors claimed they saw something beneath the surface. Not clearly, but enough to know it wasn't normal. They described a massive shape, with two giant arm-like structures, and a body that stood upright in the water. It didn't look like an animal. It looked like the ocean itself was alive. They called it the Sea Eater, its mouth always open, wide enough to swallow anything in its path. In 1927, a woman named Evelyn Mary saw something far out at sea. She didn't call it a creature. She called it a moving mountain. 3 years later, a fisherman reported the same sight. That same day, a massive tsunami destroyed the nearby coast. Witnesses felt a deep vibration, like something enormous, pulling everything toward it. The Bloop. In 1997, scientists detected something terrifying. A sound, deep in the ocean, so loud it was heard over 5,000 kilometers away. They called it the Bloop. The sound didn't match anything known, not underwater volcanoes. It sounded alive. But there was a problem. For a creature to make that sound, it would have to be bigger than a blue whale. And nothing that size should exist. The signal came from extreme depths, where sunlight never reaches, and pressure can crush anything. Some scientists said it was ice breaking underwater. But even that doesn't fully explain it. One sound, then silence. The Kraken. In the early 1700s, sailors feared something beneath their ships. They called it the Kraken. They described massive tentacles, thick enough to wrap around entire ships, strong enough to crush them. But the attack always began the same way. First, the ocean went silent, then the water turned dark, and then it appeared. What makes this even stranger, giant squids are real. They live deep in the ocean, and sometimes rise to the surface. But even they are far smaller than what sailors described. So the question is, what were they really seeing? El Gran Maha. In 1996, near the Mariana Trench, scientists detected something massive moving underwater. It moved slowly, in a controlled path, far larger than any known animal. Then suddenly, some equipment stopped working. No signal, no warning. Later, scientists noticed distortions in the water, like something huge had passed nearby. They estimated it could be hundreds of meters long. And here's the truth. The Mariana Trench is still mostly unexplored. So if something is down there, we may have never gone deep enough to find it. In the Bahamas, strange stories came from deep blue holes, underwater caves, dropping into darkness. Divers said something lived inside them. They called it the Lusca. Part octopus, part shark. Some claimed tentacles would rise from the water and grab boats. Others said they saw a creature with a shark-like face and long tentacles behind it. Some divers never came back. Scientists say it's just strong currents. But currents don't hunt, and they don't wait for the perfect moment to strike. The Leviathan. In 1848, a British crew saw something impossible. The sea was calm, then it started to rise. Then, a massive serpent broke the surface, longer than their entire ship. It moved slowly, then disappeared beneath the ocean, but left behind violent waves. And this wasn't the only report. Old records described the same thing. Even ancient texts mention a creature called Leviathan. When stories thousands of years old match real sightings, it stops sounding like myth and starts sounding real. The ocean is still a mystery, vast, dark, unexplored. And maybe these stories aren't just stories. Maybe something is still down there, watching, waiting, in the deepest parts of the ocean. Which of these creatures do you think is real? Tell us in the comments below. And if you want more terrifying mysteries, subscribe now, because the next story might be even worse.